My name's Pete Woods, you're watching Hexham TV. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Helen Mills. I'm the Audience and Sales Manager here at Queen's Hall.
So Helen, we've got a new exhibition starting soon at the Queen's Hall. It started,
Yeah.
Wonderful. Tell me why you think it's important to display young people's art.
Well, it's just fantastic to give them the opportunity to show the world what they can do and to have experience of putting on an exhibition and curating it themselves, organising a launch party and showing off their incredible talent to friends, family and to all of Hexham.
And the fantastic thing is this is a free event, isn't it, Helen?
It is, yeah. All of our exhibitions here are always free at the Queen's Hall. So do come down. We're open Monday to Saturday, 10 till 4 o'clock to see this amazing work, and it's on for 2 weeks. So yeah, come along and see what we've got on here.
And while you're here, buy some tickets for some of the shows.
Always pick up a few tickets and make a donation as well and become a member.
Hi, I'm William Pym. I'm an art teacher at the Queen Elizabeth High School, and I'm really pleased to be here talking about the exhibition Vivid Memories.
So tell me about the production of the exhibition, Will.
Well, it's really fantastic because it's a genuine collaboration with quite a huge number of students. Obviously the students who make the work, and it's students over 2 years, 2 academic years, in fact 3 academic years. So, and the main body of work is by students who've left the school, gone on to foundation, a degree or something like that. We've also got students who are live here, and their work is mainly digital and it's on the screens. But most importantly, some of them help put the show up. And so they're fantastic. It was a work experience week. They came down, they worked with art teachers deciding which pieces work best, how they could be best put together. And so in the end, it's a collaboration between staff and students in a really fantastic space here at the Queen's Hall.
So why is art important?
Art is really important in school at the moment. It's really important for young people. It's one of the places where the academic, I've got to get a GCSE or I've got to get an A-level, crosses over with students actually expressing themselves. And right now the pendulum in education has gone a long way towards the academic, which is fantastic, but it's starting to come back, I think, now to understanding that students need to express themselves. And this fits very much with the Vivid Memories exhibition theme that we've got, is that some of those experiences, we all think we remember school really well, and they are really formative years, but at a time when what it is to be a teenager is a big subject now with films and documentaries about what's happening in young people's minds. It's just fantastic to see from art, digital art, installations that often express exactly how they feel. So looking around here in some of the paintings here represent very ordinary things in people's teenage lives. Revising, reading a book, drinking a cup of tea. And it's important that we don't forget that those wonderful young people's experiences are what make teenagers so marvellous.
And these young people will have come through COVID, won't they? There'll be a cohort of young people who, 5 years ago would have had to been taught at home, would have been quite isolated perhaps. And I'm sure that's reflected in some of this exhibition. There
is, definitely. I mean, I don't want to point to individual pieces, but in some of the paintings, there's a quietness, a stillness, as well as a much larger, more exuberant expression. And I think the kind of contrast between the two is really interesting. In terms of the young people, it's affected people in very different ways. There's some people who've flown through sailing and doing really well, and those that need more support. We like to think that our art department up at the high school is a place where all through the year people can be at a sort of safe space, and I think that schools have been, not just ours but all schools, have been a lot more understanding of the journeys that some of our young people have been on.
Well, thanks very much for talking to Hexham TV.
Thank you very much.
I'm Phoebe Binley and I study photography at Queen Elizabeth High School. So I do like a natural world photography. Rather than editing my images, I keep them real and raw and what you'd see from the natural eye.
So what we can see behind you is a collection of about 50 photographs from a number of photographers, and some of your photographs are in there. We may not see them, but they are in there.
Yeah, so I did a documentary on farm photography and how British farming's really important and how it's influenced our country. But all the photos I did aren't edited, so it's like to portray how the natural eye will see it.
Yeah. So what do you hope to do with your photography?
I hope to do like different kind of photography for like events, maybe even some wedding photography. But definitely keeping it natural and in the countryside would be where I would be aiming for.
And what do you think you've got from taking part in the photography and art course at QEHS?
I think it's given me some leadership skills from when we've done like shoots as a class, because it gives you the opportunity to like direct people around. But it's also just brought out a more creative side of me that I didn't really realise I must have had before. But I've really enjoyed my course so far. So.
I'm Honey Shipley. I'm a Year 12 photography student and I helped put up the exhibition in the Queen's Hall.
So you've got a number of photographs in the slideshow that we've got going on behind. What are your photographs about, Honey?
I've got a photo of the graveyard in Blanchland, and I've got it's close up of a grave and then the background's all blurred, and I just really like that one. I like the depth of field. And I also have one that I edited is my mum, and I made her kind of like a ghostly figure, and I made her come out of the frame. It's like a long exposure photograph, which I think is really cool. And I've got another one which is a collage of two people's faces, which makes it just looks really interesting. It's very different to everything else that's on there, but I think it looks quite cool. Yeah.
And had you studied photography before, taken up photography before you went to QEHS?
No, I started in Year 12 and I became really interested in it. I think it's a really good subject.
And what are you working on at the moment?
We're doing a documentary project, part of our personal investigation, and we've just made books. Like, we've sewn the pages together, we've made the covers, and I've made fabric for the cover as well. And yeah, mine's about pigeons and cities and all that kind of thing. Yeah, quite like.
What's that? What are you trying to say with that book?
I think kind of just pigeons and where they live and how they've kind of been abandoned by humans and they've been left to, and everyone thinks of them kind of horribly, but it's not really their fault. People have just kind of abandoned them. So it's just about that. Yeah.
Good luck with the exhibition.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lucas Newbury. I do graphics at QE and I was one of the curators here at the Vivid Memories exhibition, and role in our jobs was to make frames and make sure everything was positioned well and everything kind of matched, and the spacing was correct. And yes, it's turned out very well. I think all the art this year is beautiful, in fact. And yes, at the minute at school, in graphics I'm doing spiritual symbolism, so it's all different Buddhist and universal patterns and kind of making graphical imagery through that, and surrealism and orphism and connecting all those contemporary movements.
Where do you see yourself using your graphics in the future?
Well, I think since a lot of work's online now, I think it'll be a great tool for freelance work, just in case jobs don't work out. And I think it's always great to have graphical experience, because it's just a big part of the world now. And yeah.
What would you say to someone who was perhaps considering doing the art, photography, graphics courses at QEHS?
Well, I think they've got great courses, and it's very much up to you, especially in sixth form, to kind of go off on your own path, and I think that helps a lot with other subjects and kind of helps your creativity, because that's not brought forth from the other subjects. It's quite it is labour intensive, but it's definitely worth it. It's a great tool for just personal portfolio, you know.
Fabulous. Thanks very much for talking to Hexham TV.
Very welcome.